What is going on, guys? Joey Frenzel here, FLEXX Training Systems, coming to you from the car because I don't have time today, but I have a interesting video for you guys today. I wanted to talk about under what circumstances might a lifter make progress really fast, right? What sort of put this idea in my head to make this video is that I have a lifter that she had contacted me, and we talked about working together, but I told her I was really busy and that she would have to wait. A lot of time goes by. I eventually hit her up and say, okay, I'm ready to take you. Granted, this is a very specific situation where I feel like, it would probably be best if I did this myself. She's a high-level lifter. She's pretty good already. So we started working together, and this week was our week 4. So the end of the first block, and she's already hitting PRs. Now, I know my programming is really good. I know, there's a lot of things that I do that I feel help bring out strength in people. But in 4 weeks to already manifest a PR, there's a couple things that it could be. It doesn't really matter what specific reason it is. It's as long as, a lot of things are being done correctly, then, you tend to get, a little bit of boost from here, a little bit of boost from there. Everything combined, you get a tangible result, right? So I just wanted to kind of shed some light as to what the reasons could be that a lifter might make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. That's a crazy short amount of time. And typically when things like that happen, like week 2 in a block, if someone's already hitting good numbers week 2 in a block, that tells me that either what they were doing before was a lot, and that the training that they're doing now is allowing for some sort of recovery to happen while they're going through their block. And, when the PR manifests, it just happens to be more so the dissipation of that fatigue which they had accumulated before being on a structured program. Or they were on a program, and the program they were doing before was too aggressive, so they were holding a substantial amount of fatigue. There are often lifters that really enjoy a specific lift, and they do it all the time. They'll do it 3 times a week, 5 times a week. They might really like deadlifting, so they deadlift a lot. They might really like squatting, so they're squatting all the time. It's usually deadlifts that I see this with. But that crazy high frequency on that lift is going to create fatigue. And just getting them in a structured program will kind of allow their recovery patterns to be more predictable, because they're going to be, I try to have people train on the same days of the week. They do the same lift. So every Wednesday or Thursday will be a deadlift day, something like that. Every Monday or Tuesday will be a squat day or a bench day, whatever, right? So that could be one reason. It's just a good training split that's allowing for proper, stress distribution and recovery. And they may be doing a little bit less than what they were doing before, or they are holding generally less fatigue than they usually are. And sometimes when you are holding less fatigue and you're a little bit more towards, what might be fully recovered almost, you give yourself a better chance to let the PR show up versus being absolutely destroyed and run into the ground all the time. Everybody's different. It really just depends. Some lifters, you're really going to have to drive them into the ground, really small lifters with tiny muscles. You got to really just hammer it. Where a big strong lifter, you don't want to do that at all. You got to go real easy, or they're gonna lose it. So that could be a reason. Another reason could be maybe they got with their new coach and they decided, like, hey, you know what? I think it'll be best for you to move up a weight class. That could be it too. Totally reasonable reason to make a good amount of progress. I try to tell people 1 to 2 pounds a month, I think, is fine. Back in the day, they used to say 1 pound a week. I have found that you might gain fat a little bit too much going that fast. But yeah, I mean, just moving up a weight class, during the COVID times, right? We saw tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people that weren't in school anymore. They weren't in school and they just didn't have anything to do but train. So what does that mean? That means more of your energy expenditure is going to go towards your training. It's not going to go towards school. You're not going to be stressed out. It's going to be completely, different and much more beneficial to like your overall powerlifting training, because all your recovery, the only thing that you're doing is powerlifting, right? So that could be a reason. All of your energy expenditure is going towards training. Your nutrients, your recovery, everything is going towards recovering from powerlifting training. And you are in a caloric surplus now because you're doing less. Maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. You're going to see people make progress. And I think a lot of people out there see this, and instead of simply saying, oh, it was weight gain, they want to make it this reason or that reason or whatever. So it's probably a combination of things, but weight gain at some point is going to be like there are lifters out there where their bench press is not going to improve unless they gain weight. And that's just how it's going to be. They've been training for 15 years. They have been doing everything on point for a good majority of that. And it's just extremely hard for them to put on muscle. 15 years of training, if you start at 18 years old, how old are you, right? It's very rare that the body goes another 10 years after that and continues, to produce the same hormones to operate at that high level with that, crazy recovery that you have when you're in your early 20s, whatever, this and that. So it's just a lot of things that are working for you. Another reason why a lifter might make a lot of progress in a short amount of time, when I say a lot of progress, I mean you're stuck at a PR, you're stuck at a certain number, and then within 2 to 6 weeks, you're already hitting a PR. That to me is very fast. That's very, very fast. That is something that I feel like we do a lot here. But it is also, you gotta kind of know the reasons why. The lifter doesn't need to know too much. Because if it's like a combination of 3 positive things that they're doing, it's not like you want them to do one thing necessarily more. If your nutrition is on point and you're tracking your food and you're hitting your protein, how are you going to do that more? You could try to get a little bit more granular with it, but you see what I'm saying? You don't want to major in the minors, right? And I really try to focus on making sure people hit the big picture. And then over time, sorry, it's freaking raining and everything is wet. My nose is stuffy. It's all messed up. We want to make sure that we are like if I get a brand new beginner lifter or, with one of my coaches or something, and I tell them this person, they just need to get the big general points. They need to be in the general range of where they need to be. And then over time, we can start fine-tuning this and fine-tuning that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to really get you forward faster, right? Make sure your training split is on point. Make sure you're dosing your stress in your training properly. And make sure you have enough ups and downs in your training, right? You need to have the ups. What are the ups? So you're feeling crazy good, you're really strong, everything's going great. What are the downs? You're beat up, you have some fatigue, whatever. You need to have that oscillation between those levels, because you need to create like a reason to get stronger, which is adding more work or doing more work, whatever. And then you need to pull some of that down to allow the strength to show up. It cannot just be a 5x5 forever, right? That's not going to do anything. That's, maybe it works in the beginning, but then you're going to start to level off, and then you die down, and then you kind of you're flat. I'm trying to think of another reason why somebody might make progress really fast. Oh, a technique change can sometimes help. Me personally, when I changed from heels to flats, I put 30 pounds on my squat like instantly. But see, at the same time, I was in a surplus, right? So that's going to help building the muscles in the new technique, right? But it's a combination of things. It's not like I only put in flats. There are some people that naturally pull a lot more sumo. That could be another reason. Those ones aren't as obvious because, you're going to see them in a different stance, right? So that's going to make sense. But definitely there just are some ways that people lift that are more efficient for their body type, and that's what they should be doing. So that could be another reason. How many reasons have we gotten? Is that 4 now? So we optimize the training split. We have them in a caloric surplus, right? We, proper recovery distribution. So they have good training, good thoughtful training. They have enough ups and downs. They're doing less than they were before. So they're operating at a more, higher, more towards the level of being recovered versus being beat up. Technique changes, right? I'm trying to see if there's anything else that just makes it jump. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Aside from like behavioral things that people can do outside the gym to just give them the best chance to have progress, you know what I mean? I think those are some reasons why you might just see somebody's numbers like explode up instantly. But yeah, guys, not too long today. 12 minutes, it's normal length video. I hope you're able to take something away from this, apply it to your own training. Yeah, if you made it this far, let me get a hashtag real one. I have been, we do real one all the time. Let me get gratitude, hashtag gratitude in the comments down below. I've been feeling that a lot lately, just a lot of people saying that they appreciate what we're doing, and it means a lot. I just want to keep going. Just want to, I feel like we got some big stuff coming up, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Anyway, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.